What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to do my favorite build. It's pretty simple. It won't take that long. I'm going to be doing it on the Mutation X V4, and it's going to be on the Snow Wolf. And we're going to run it at 200 watts. The build I have in here now is not really that great. It's a 24 gauge Kanthal. That's what we're going to be using. Twisted 24 gauge Kanthal, wrapped 7 times, I believe. But we can go ahead and take that out. The coil we're going to be making is going to be a dual coil. It's one of my favorites. And what you'll need to do this is going to be, of course, 24 gauge Kanthal. You're going to need some wire cutters, some pliers, a couple little screwdrivers, and I'm going to be using my coil kit on a 3mm bit. So what I do when I make this coil, I just take 2 wraps off. 2. And that's about maybe a foot of Kanthal. And fold it in half here. Cut it in half. And what I do, it goes this way naturally, but I like to fold it back and I twist counterclockwise. Just makes it easier to install and for the wicking and everything. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I do 1 extra, 11. So that way when you pull it out, you can go ahead, twist it around like that, and pull 1 wrap out. That way they're all nice and even. There's 1 wrap. So now you have 10 wraps. I don't know if you can see it. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and do this next one, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I have the 2 coils, 10 wraps each. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install them into our RDA. Clip your leads a little bit so they go in easier in your RDA. always take this out and use it as a guide. That really helps. Once you get them centered, go ahead and tighten down your screws. Put one lead into the negative and one into the positive. Just like that. Go ahead and clip the leads that are coming out the other side. Now to install the other one, I've noticed that the whole post hole going through the center right here, if the lead's too long, it'll touch this coil and it'll short out. So what I do is I just estimate where I think it will be, where the lead should stop, and I cut it off there. Once you get that one in there right, tighten down the other screws. What you want to do is pull your coils up to about even with the top, like right at the very top, not the screws. I'm gonna go ahead and clip this lead off here. Pull them up to the top of where the posts are, not the screws though. See how I got that? Alright, now it's time to heat her up. It's asking me new addy. Yes or no? Positive for yes. And it jumped into temperature control. I don't know why the snow wolves do that, but when you put a new coil on, they'll turn into temperature control. You just hold the fire button down for a couple seconds and it will go into regular wattage mode. And I like to turn it down while I'm dry firing it. Alright, see, now it jumped into power. Now what you want to do is heat these coils up. And get them glowing. That way you can pinch them together. this one coil. And I really don't know why. Alright, that's why the lead's touching it. That's what I do when this happens. I just take my screwdriver and push it down. Just like that. This Phillips head is hard to get out of this. I don't know why. Always has been. So now I'm just going to insert my tool back in there, straighten that coil back out. And now let's try it again. There we go. Now she's glowing like she should be. There we go. She's glowing like she should be. Alright, next step, let's put your cotton in. I just use organic cotton balls. You can buy a bag of them from the CVS store, the drugstore, for like, I think it was like $4 for 100 of them. They last you a long time. What you want to do, if you're using cotton balls, I just unroll them. Tear off that end, you won't be using it. And then just tear it in half. And what I do, I don't know if you guys can see it. Here it is. What I do is I use a Scottish roll method for my wicking. I spread this out. Spread it all out nice and even. And then you take it and you roll it up. And then do the same thing to this one. Spread it out and then roll it up. Alright. Now you take one end, twist it up, and slide it through. Now with this type of wicking method, the wick should be tight inside your coil. Really tight. Not real tight, but pretty close to it. And do the same thing to the other one. Roll her up. And pull it through. And when you get it to about where you want, always pull back just a little bit to fluff it up on both sides. And then what I do is I just twist the ends up, and I use my wire cutters and cut it where I think Should be just about right. Just enough to get down inside that juice well. You touch the bottom. You don't want too much wick. Do the same thing to all four ends of the cotton. And then what I do, fluff out the ends. And shove them down in that juice well. Alright, now it's time to juice her. I'm using some Ugly Betty. It's a clone of Pinup Betty. It's from the local vapor shop around here. Juice her up. Get those wicks good and saturated. Reminds me, I gotta take this airflow blocker off. I had it on there when I was running it in single coil mode. The little rubber pieces that come with the Mutation. Can use a little bit more juice.